Hello everybody, Dr. Jason Cavler here again. Let's talk about walking away from your mortgage. Have you heard in the news lately about some homeowners who are just walking away from their home and giving it back to the bank because it's worth less than what they owe on it? This has been called by some people a strategic default, or some even have called it jingle mail after the sound that the keys make when they're mailed back to the bank. Now, why is it that people are doing this? Well, it's because record numbers of people are underwater on their mortgage loans, and they're not sure what to do about it. What exactly does the term underwater mean? Well, when a home, or any other item for that matter, is worth more than you actually owe on it, that loan is said to be underwater. And right now in the U.S., approximately 25% of all mortgages are underwater. Now that's a huge number. And when people hear that, it scares them. Now, there's more than one reason why someone could be underwater on their mortgage loan. One reason is that because the homeowner has fallen behind on their payments, maybe because of a job loss, a divorce, a major health crisis, or some other major life event that has depleted their income and their savings. Another reason could be that the homeowner borrowed on the equity they built up over the years while home prices were going through the roof. And now that the house has gone down in value, they owe more on it than they could sell the house for. That's yet another reason to avoid home equity loans, by the way. And the third possible scenario is that maybe the homeowner has a bigger mortgage than they can afford. Maybe their variable rate loan has ballooned much higher. Maybe they got an interest only, a no money down, or some other type of a suspect loan that they used to buy the house they couldn't afford in the first place, because they trusted their lender to tell them what they needed, or maybe because they were just plain greedy. But no matter what the reason is for being underwater on a home loan, whether it's bad luck or bad planning, the one fact that remains is that you signed an agreement to pay that mortgage. And if you want to keep your personal integrity intact, then you need to continue to pay the debt that you owe, period. If you can't afford to pay that mortgage anymore, then sell the house, even if you have to take less for it than you owe, which is called a short sale. Or maybe you can negotiate with the bank for a reduction in principal. But when you walk away from a loan that you can afford to pay just because the house has gone down in value, that shows a lack of integrity, because you're not living up to your word. Yeah, maybe it's unfair, and maybe, yes, you let the mortgage officer lead you into some bad decisions, but it's still your signature on that loan. And as Christians, we are called to live up to our word and to repay our debts, even if it's inconvenient or unfair. I mean, what's next? Do you walk away from your car loan just because your vehicle goes down in value? If you decide to walk away, and it doesn't mean that your problems are over. What it really means is that your problems are just continuing. If you walk away, your credit will still be damaged, you will still owe the money to the lender, and the bank is eventually going to come after you for the balance. Many banks are going to come after people who have walked away from their homes, and they're getting court judgments against them to garnish their wages and to take away any tax refunds they might be expecting. Psalms 37:21 says, "The wicked borrows but does not pay back." And when we borrow money for anything, whether it's a house, a car, consumer spending on a credit card, whatever, we've made an agreement with that person or that company in good faith to pay our debts back. And as Christians, God expects us to pay our debts so that we'll keep our integrity intact and be a good witness of our faith. When we don't follow His word in these situations by refusing to pay that debt, it plainly says we're considered to be wicked. Now, do you really want God to think that you're wicked? I didn't think so. Now, if you're considering walking away from your mortgage obligation, you have to make a conscious decision and decide, do you want to be blessed by God, or do you want His protection to be lifted from you in this situation? When you don't follow what the Word says, you're opening yourself up for suffering and problems that could eventually be even worse than what you may be experiencing now. But if you remember to keep His principles first, you will maintain your integrity and open yourself up to be blessed by God in many ways, sometimes in very unexpected ways. He will recognize your good efforts to maintain your integrity and correct your mistakes. Remember, trust in God and keep His ways, and He will be faithful to you in all things.